Ehlers, let me just start by saying I want your vote. I've been told that I need to ask everybody for their vote, no matter what, wherever I go. So I just did. Have you guys ever seen the movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Raise the hands. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Every time I'm up here on one of these, the whole time I've been thinking, you know, about that scene where Pappy O'Daniel, I'm mass communicating. That's all I think, I'm mass communicating. I'm not mass communicating like Mr. Forrest. He's mass communicating. He's got some stuff going on. One thing I wanted to, Ms. Wright?
Yes, sir.
I still eat oatmeal for dinner. I like it. And I know what you're talking about, but I do eat oatmeal for dinner. Something I'm just going to piggyback off of what she just said. When you're talking about, you know, putting the stuff on the builders, impact fees and stuff, I think what should be said about that is when you put those fees on the builders, they just pass it on to the consumer. So what that does is it raises the price of the homes they're selling after they build it. And I've been told, you know, hey, look, indigenous people are, you know, to our area, we can't afford the homes already. So, you know, impact fees and all these other fees, it's just going to make it, it's going to raise the prices. The people that live here can't afford it, so what does that leave? It leaves people moving down from other areas of the country. We know what that's all about. We see that every day. So I wrote down a few notes. Let's see how fast this could be. What is your position on allowing data centers to be built in Greenville County? No. What is your position regarding new residential development in District 17 and other areas of Greenville County and/or imposing zoning? No more development. Number 3, do you support a new sales tax, builder impact fees to improve county infrastructure, roads, and schools? I don't support any kind of new sales tax or new increase in taxes at all. I certainly still, again, don't want to put it on the end consumer of those products, the homes. Number 4, do you support increased pay for county law enforcement, and how should that be funded? Yes, I do support it. It should not be with a tax increase. It should be out of the budget that we already have. Number 5, do you support voters being able to elect local judges and magistrates rather than them being appointed? Yes, I do. Okay, now that's how fast it could be, but I do want to go back and touch on some of them. Data centers. You know, we've already got a few data centers. They're small, they're not these power-hungry, water-consuming data centers. We've got a few of them already in Greenville. As far as these huge things that are happening that are really, have I still got 15 minutes?
13:46.
13, all right, cool.
It only goes down every 3.
It's kind of weird, this guy's showing you these numbers. Anyway, these huge data centers, there's more to it than that. You know, there's different rules on the water recycling. Some of them, they can only recycle the water so many times before it has to be dumped back out into the environment. Now, so the water's going to evaporate, it's going to go up, and it's going to come back down. So the water's not really disappearing, but it is disappearing from our reservoir. And that's definitely a problem in my mind. The power consumption alone of these massive data centers makes our power bill go up. I don't understand that either, but I'm against that. If you're going to buy the power, you're a data center, you're selling a product, then you need to pay for the power yourself. My power shouldn't increase because of that. So there's another reason I'm against those. And look, we got a lot of water here in Greenville. So it does look like, hey, that's a really good place. We could put some data centers. There's a lot of water there. So I'm totally against it. That's just, it's a non-starter. Let's move on to the next question. What is your position regarding new residential development in District 17 and or other areas of Greenville County and or imposing zoning? I'm against zoning because most of the people here in District 17 are against it. So, you know, if most of the people in 17 become for zoning, then I'll be for zoning. I'll have to be convinced of it. I mean, if it's a zoning, if the zoning is going to say, hey, we can't build any more houses here, okay, I'll be for zoning. Or, I mean, the developers. If you know, let's just keep that to the developers. If the zoning says, hey, we're not going to allow any more subdivisions, or 400 or 500 homes and these builders to come in, okay, I'll switch sides on that. I'll be definitely for zoning, but I don't see zoning. I've never seen zoning do that. Every time I see wherever zoned, I see businesses, I see houses everywhere. So I don't think zoning is the answer unless it's going to be zoned to not do that. Back to, I want to keep touching on the impact fees there. I don't think they work. So, do I support a new sales tax? Question 3. I don't support a new sales tax. I think there's a lot of wasteful spending in our budget. I know there's a lot of wasteful spending in our budget. There's stuff that we pay money for in the county that we don't even use. I asked some people at the local place where I eat breakfast, a couple of questions that as I got asked them. Hey, do you guys want me to support Greenlink? What's Greenlink? Well, it's those buses in Greenville City, the electric bus. And I explained it to them. Well, they don't come out here. Well, why should we be paying for it? Well, that's a pretty simple answer to it. I don't need to know much more than that to know I don't support it. So one of the things about me is that's what I intend to do if I get elected. I'm going to listen to the community and I will vote their conscience. I've said this before, you hear Lindsey Graham when he's voting in such a way that he knows his constituents disagree with him, he will say, I'm voting my conscience. That's code for he's voting against what the people want him to vote for. So I'm going to vote for District 17's conscience, no matter what it is. If that's what you want me to vote for, even if it's against something, that I think, well, it should be this way. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what you guys think. In my area, I live over in the River Falls community above Marietta, and I've been there my whole life. I feel like I've got my finger on the pulse of what really matters to people here, because I'm one of the people. Number 3 still, do I support impact fees? I don't support the builder impact fees. It doesn't faze the builders a bit. They just raise the price. They pass it on to the end consumer. Another thing about that development stuff, we get 400 or 500 homes here, the developers don't think about, well, how's that going to affect the local school system? We're bringing in, let's say, an average of 300 new students. They just build the houses and it's not their problem. They just want to make the money and move on. So I don't like that. The builder impact fees to improve county infrastructure, roads and schools, I just don't like it. Let's go on to number 4. Do you support increased pay for county law enforcement, and how should that be funded? I do support increased pay for county law enforcement, especially county law enforcement, but not just. I don't think we should raise taxes. I think that's the first go-to thing is let's raise taxes. But again, back to the wasteful spending in the budget. The Greenlink is just one small thing. You've got natural land preservation getting money. They're getting $6 million in a 4-year period. I don't know. I disagree with that. If very wealthy people want to donate to that, or a private citizen wants to donate their property, or if people want to donate their money, that's great. That's one thing. But taking it from the taxes, we don't get a say in that. The only say you get is to vote for someone like me that will say no. I will not vote for that budget if it's going to give you guys this money over here. You don't need that money, not from us. If that's a feel-good project, that's what I dub a feel-good project. And if our sheriff needs more money for the deputies, then we need to get rid of the feel-good projects first. That's on the chopping block. Government they have their core responsibility. And first responders, deputies, this is part of that core responsibility. Not whether we have affordable housing programs and, electric buses running up and down the roads. So I do support a pay increase for law enforcement. I also support an increase for, say, the summary court people. They make about as much as, people at McDonald's make. And they're making some decisions that could change any of our lives, one mistake. And then, it's going to cost us a lot of money to rectify it. Do I support voters being able to elect local judges and magistrates rather than them being appointed? Yeah, I do. I think it's a problem with them being appointed. You know, I think Mike Burns alluded to some of the problems that could cause. So if it's up to me, then yeah, I'm going to say put that to the people. That's about it. I'll keep it simple at 9 minutes. I want your vote. I've lived here. I'm an electrician. I'm in people's homes every day. I've been talking with them for the better part of 2 years about these subjects, from Caesar's Head all the way down to Greenville. And not just that, I mean, people in Greenville feel the same way we do. They see it. They see what's happened in Greenville on Woodruff Road and all these places, how it's just completely, the urban sprawl has gotten out of control. Maybe I want to say something else on that. We need to be stopping this now. We don't need to push this or kick this can down the road. If we don't stop this crazy development that's happening in Greenville County, if we don't stop it now, it's going to be too late. I mean, we've got to. If we can stop it, you know, that'll make our taxes sort of start going back down a little bit. We won't need to repair the infrastructure like they're calling. It's just problem after problem. The more houses and more people we get, you would think that it would go in reverse. Well, we're getting all these houses, so we should be getting more income and tax revenue. And we do, we get tax revenue, but what we're actually getting is a small percentage of what we need when compared to rebuilding the infrastructure, rebuilding schools. I mean, a little bit of tax from all these, that's nothing. It doesn't even come close to comparing to it. That's it for me. I'm going to turn this over to James Horde. Thank you guys for coming out. You know how many people are in this district? And look how many people are here tonight. And the guys on the back row, like me, we have the potential to affect you directly, you know, more so than anyone else, the way we would vote. And there's such a small percentage here tonight, so kudos to you guys for actually caring and coming out here. It's, you know, to take time out of your day, that's a big deal. And I wish more people would be like you guys and do that. Thank you.